Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit, and we are continuing our series of daily morning meditations where we look at one or another of the lessons that are assigned for morning and evening prayer, what we know as the daily office lectionary. And this being Monday, we get back into following St. Matthew's Gospel. We are now on chapter 9, in the middle of it. And yesterday we had two great readings about Jesus having power over those who have died. Over death itself. We heard during the communion service the rising of the man who was the only son of a widow, and we also heard the story of the raising of Lazarus, and of course Mary and Martha, and Jesus reminding them that he is in fact the resurrection and the life. Now we get back into, and that was from John's Gospel, but today we get back into Matthew's Gospel, and we hear the story of the important government official who comes up to Jesus, a young ruler. He said, as he spake these things unto them, behold, there came a certain ruler and worshipped him, saying, My daughter is even now dead, but come and lay thy hand upon her, and she shall live. So here this guy has belief that Jesus has power over death. And Jesus arose and followed him, and did as did his disciples. And behold, a woman which diseased with an issue of blood 12 years came behind him and touched the hem of his garment. She had such faith that Jesus could heal him that in fact she thought if she could just touch the hem of his garment, she'd receive healing grace. Now, part of this, of course, and we've talked about this in this series, isn't it, is that when women were during that time of the month, when they had an issue of blood, or after childbirth while they had an issue of blood, they were considered ritually unclean and couldn't worship and participate in public events. For a woman to have had an issue for several years, 12 years in fact, she has now been ostracized from society. So in a sense, she has to sneak up on him because she's just so used to being an outcast that she wouldn't even dare address Jesus outright. And so she sneaks up and touches the hem of his garment. She has such great faith. And Jesus actually says, who touched me? And people are like, are you out of your mind? Well, of course, there's a crowd around you. But Jesus knew virtue had gone out from him. And so, daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith has made thee whole. So here's an opportunity for faith to go into effect. She really believed that Jesus had the power and the ability to heal her. And in fact, she receives not just healing, right? But Jesus says, your faith has made you whole. She's now not only physically healed, but she is restored once again to the worship in the synagogue. She is restored once again to public activity because she no longer has this regular issue of blood that she's had for 12 years. So Jesus not only has physically healed her, but he has restored her back into the community. But then he goes on, of course, and spends time with the woman who is in fact the girl who is dead. And when Jesus came into the ruler's house and saw the minstrels and the people making a noise, and he said unto them, give place, for the maid is not dead, but sleepeth, and they laugh at him. But when the people were put forth, he went in and took her by the hand, and the maid arose. And the fame thereof went abroad in all the land. And so Jesus just had to go there and take her hand and raise her from the dead. So once again, we have these two interesting things happening or interwoven in the same particular reading. We have the woman who is both healed and is restored to wholeness, right? So she not only has physical healing, but she's whole. And we have this young woman who is raised from the dead and restored to her family. And all Jesus had to do was reach out and take her by the hand and raise her up, even though they had certainly mocked him and thought that when he said she's not dead, she wasn't eternally dead. Jesus, in fact, is life and can bring life. Today's Monday. And I know we've talked about coming to services on Sunday during these morning meditations, but I do want to point out to you, if you haven't noticed, that we do also have worship during the week here at St. John's. We have Holy Communion service on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 12:15. And Monday and Tuesday are in the main church. Wednesday we have in our chapel. And then Thursday at 10:30 a.m. we have Mass as well, followed by benediction, and that is in the main church. you are most welcome to join us for those services. Perhaps you've been a little leery to come to the Sunday worship because you have a feeling that maybe there might be too many people here. And believe me, with only 50 or 60 people at the main service, we can have 200 here and still be at 25%. The building seats 800, so we've got plenty of room. But perhaps you feel more comfortable coming to a weekday service, about 25 or 30 minutes long for a weekday Mass. You get the opportunity to receive communion. And again, a building of 800 people, you can sit as far away from everybody else as you possibly want, and you will feel yourself safe. We also have evening prayer, which we do live stream at 5 o'clock, Monday through Thursday, and we generally do that back in the Ministry Center. And if you would like to join us for evening prayer, be here at least 5 minutes before 5 and come in through the back office door into the Ministry Center. We'd love to have you join us for that either. But either way, we are worshiping the good God, faith over fear, and by His grace, we not only can glorify Him, but we get the great opportunity to receive Him in the Blessed Sacrament. I hope you have a wonderful Monday. May God bless you.